The turmoil in the Middle East continues to spread with more protests on the streets of Cairo. One person was killed and 60 others were injured after demonstrators stormed the Muslim Brotherhood's headquarters today. The protesters say President Mohamed Morsi is no better than fallen dictator Hosni Mubarak, and they have taken to the streets calling for his resignation. As Paul Johnson tells us, both sides are planning mass protests, leading to fears of more violence.
This is the kind of situation Egypt's revolution of last year was supposed to prevent. But once again, thousands of angry demonstrators converged on Tahrir Square today, throwing stones and trading tear gas canisters with police. Back again are the tents and the angry words for a president they think has gone too far. What's happening here is a repetition of what happened during the revolution, says this man. We've replaced a corrupt fascist regime with another brutal and fascist regime. The protests were triggered last week after Egypt's first democratically elected president, Mohamed Morsi, decreed vast new powers for himself. Since then, the situation has steadily worsened, with judges declaring a strike, journalists splitting along factional lines, and the country's stock market tumbling by 10% today. And now the possibility that Morsi's power base, the Muslim Brotherhood, will step up its counter-demonstrations with the threat of more violence. Massive protests are expected Tuesday in the biggest test so far for any regime born from last year's Arab Spring.
Robin, just a week ago, there were rockets landing here in Israel, and that only stopped because of a ceasefire deal between Hamas and Israel that Mohamed Morsi was heavily involved with. If he's now facing his own existential crisis, that raises big questions about the ceasefire, one I can tell you both Israelis and Palestinians here have very little confidence in.